So you've probably seen the dopamine detox thing circulating around the internet for a while now. I'm actually quite late on this. Whoops. Essentially, it's a trend that's based on the neurotransmitter dopamine, which is said to be the addictive molecule in your brain. It allows you to feel satisfaction, pleasure, motivation, which is important, but when you feel too much of it, that's when it starts to get unhealthy. That's where addictions arise, such as my unhinged social media addiction that I'm trying to break. This trend focuses on removing or detoxing any sources that feed too much into those feelings. Now, I'm not a science nerd. I'm really bad at science, actually. So I apologize in advance if that was super inaccurate, but that's the information I got from watching a few videos, and I wanted to try it out for myself. So here is my take on the dopamine detox. First, I want to establish that I'm not doing this trend just to deprive myself of all enjoyment and entertainment. No. A lot of YouTubers like to go to that extreme, and that's great. But personally, I want to do this trend as a resetter, to replant myself back on track and to remind myself what life is like without all this overstimulation and all these distractions. I especially want to spend this time to focus my attention on God and to become more purposeful with my relationship with Him. Now, is it possible to change all your bad habits in just 7 days? Probably not, but it gets the ball rolling, and I think I just need to get started and see where it will go. So, ground rules. For a week, I'm going to remove all social media. I need them to be out of sight, out of mind. Social media is the number one contributor to my addiction, and it's the reason why I can't even sit still for even a minute. Now, if I need to contact people, they can contact me through phone or WhatsApp or whatever. Movies and shows are a no, but I don't typically watch them anyway. Next, music. That's a hard one. I don't really have much of an excuse to listen to music, so I'm going to try and challenge myself to not listen to any music. Right now, I'm actually really craving a karaoke session and a sing-along session. The goal. What will I do without everything bombarding me all at once? Well, I want to prioritize this time, number 1, absorbing God's word, praying, and really listening to Him. Living in the moment for Him, and not having everything constantly be distracting me. So instead of watching random videos or listening to a bunch of music, I'm going to try to read and hear the Bible or listen to sermons or prayers or stuff like that, and substitute that for what I would normally listen to, which is not anything that useful, honestly. Number 2, school. I'm the biggest procrastinator, especially when it comes to school. I managed to get all my assignments in time. Some of them I turn in late, but I'm always doing my schoolwork last minute. This week, I will try and force myself to grind in school. 3, doing anything other than looking at my social media feed. So I've been trying to study Tagalog with this book, and I'm hoping that I can get through a good amount of it before it's due, because I borrowed it from the library and I haven't started reading it until like 2 weeks after I checked it out, but that's okay, I renewed it. So I can spend my time doing that instead of staring at my screen all day or staring at my feed all day. I'm always staring at a screen. I also want to get back into journaling, and I hope that I can reintegrate somewhat of a night routine again that consists of journaling and like winding down instead of just going straight to bed after staring at my phone all day. Number 4, editing videos and planning for the channel. That one's a fun one, and it doesn't even feel like a challenge when I'm thinking about the channel. My exceptions are I can go on YouTube if I'm uploading or creating something for this channel, or I can watch a video once in a while if it's purely educational. All right, we'll see how I do and if I'll be able to get through this week. And if you want, you can come along, join me with this challenge. Maybe you can try out your own dopamine detox as well. So here's the time, it's Monday. I'm gonna delete Instagram off my phone. I kind of just like made the decision to do this challenge really last minute. I do everything last minute. I don't know how well I'm gonna keep up with this challenge. I have to get ready for school, so I slept at almost 2 a.m. The goal of this challenge is to improve my habits. So I think I found another way to procrastinate getting ready. I'm clearing out my iPad. I feel like I don't know what to do already. Okay, here's my fit. I did not do any math homework. I didn't even do any homework over the weekend. I did have homework. Overdue homework. So we're gonna hope that that gets sorted throughout this week. Because I have a lot. And I know everything's gonna pile up. Guys, this is why you maintain good habits. Okay, so basically, I got through today. I surprisingly didn't listen to any music, willingly at least. They're like renovating and it smells. Wow. But anyways, I didn't listen to any music. Usually I listen to the music on the radio, like in the car when I go to school. But I actually managed to not do that. I'm a little conscious about filming in school, but whatever, that's fine. But I didn't go on social media all day because my phone doesn't have social media. What I did go on, I used my phone to like see text messages and like call people, which is the whole point of having a phone. So I actually used it for that and not for social media. And I didn't go on YouTube. There were times where I opened the app and it was like loading and I was like, I can't do this. And then so I just clicked off the app. On my computer, I only used it for Notion and for Google Classroom, which is stuff for school and like productive organization, note-taking, whatever, stuff like that. So I think I'm on the right track, but we're gonna see what happens after school when I'm home. I just spent 20 minutes or something. I don't know. I didn't keep track of time, but I spent a good amount of time just trying to send an email to a teacher because every time I send emails, I overthink literally every single word. All I wanted to ask was, is it possible if I could change my courses for next year? Because I wasn't happy with the courses that I chose because I was put under pressure by the teachers when selecting my courses. But that's besides the point. I overthunk every single letter. Now I'm going to go on YouTube, not to watch anything, but to check my channel because a short was supposed to be posted today. I'm just gonna rewatch it because that's what I do. Every time I put something out, I always have to rewatch it a million times, you know. So I felt like I had no energy, so I took a nap for 2 hours. But I feel energized now. I need to complete one of my assignments for English that I'm late on. I mean, it doesn't have a due date, but it was like posted a while ago, so I should probably finish it. Today, I want to do a lot of math homework that I have not been doing. I also want to edit one of my videos that came out last week by the time you're seeing this. You know what I've noticed? I feel like I've gained so much more time and I can just like live slowly. Like I'm not always in a rush thinking about tomorrow. I know I have time to get things done and that doesn't make me want to procrastinate even more. It's because I'm not always distracted with the screen in my face. This is like the whole reason why I did this. I know I may be talking down on screens. I literally have 2 screens in front of my face right now. But my point here is I'm not just like mindlessly scrolling. I'm surviving, so that's good. Literally all day, different songs have been playing in my mind. My thoughts consist of like actual thoughts, but the vast majority of my thoughts are just like songs and song lyrics and music, even though I haven't listened to music basically all day. All right, I will update you if there's anything. If not, then I'll probably see you tomorrow. Okay, y'all, so it's day 2. I feel like The urges are slowly creeping up on me. I don't know, especially with YouTube. I'm like, kind of want to go on YouTube right now. I'm also feeling a little bit like a little song wouldn't hurt. It's like, can't I just play like one song? No. I need to push through this. I'm gonna have a snack, but usually I like watch a video while having a snack. Please, why am I so dramatic? Like, oh my goodness, like no iPad while watching while eating. I have some homework that I need to do, so I'm gonna try to just like do that while snacking. I can do it. We can do it. Let's do this. Here are my blue light glasses. So if you ever catch me wearing glasses, they're not real glasses. They're blue light glasses. Before you comment on me not following the rules of the dopamine detox, we will get into that later, okay? Right now, I am just like learning some stuff in Tagalog. So basically what I did all afternoon, I slept, I rested, I spent time with my mom, and I ate. I took a shower and I changed my bed sheets. I'm gonna go to bed soon and I will see you tomorrow. As I was reading, there was this verse that stood out to me. It's James 1 verse 12, and it reads, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." Verse 13, "When tempted, no one should say, 'God is tempting me.' For God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desire and enticed." These verses, they stood out to me in this situation because it's only the start of day 3. I feel like there were many times where I wanted to give up. Well, this won't hurt, or I'm really tempted to go on YouTube, or I'm really tempted to put on a song, but I know that's not the point of the challenge. And these verses, they remind me that I need to persevere, and I'm standing the test. Maybe it's not a super big trial or test, but it's something that still tests my perseverance and my discipline. It's for the greater good, and it's for God. God is not the one tempting me, but it's my own desires, and it's my own dopamine. See, like, this applies. All glory be to God. Okay, I also realized that yesterday, usually in art class, I like wear my headphones and just work on my art silently, but I was not wearing my headphones, and I actually like had conversations with my classmates. It is 5:21 p.m. I have work at 6, but I just spent after school lying on the couch. Number 1, taking a short nap. Then I ate. I like had my screen in front of my face, my computer, and I was just like going back and forth through my Google Classroom and my Notion. It's like giving the illusion that I'm being productive. I want to watch a video on the dopamine detox to gain inspiration, to see what other people do. I feel like I'm not doing the challenge right. Okay, so everyone is trying to literally get rid of everything that gives you dopamine, which okay, that is the entire point of this challenge. I don't want to get rid of everything that gives me any hint of dopamine, okay? But what I want to do is reset my brain, as I said in the beginning. All I do is I have like my computer in front of me. I feel like I'm just procrastinating while staring at my computer screen with like a bunch of productive websites. I don't know. The goal of this challenge is to get me off of social media for the most part, because I don't have an addiction with really anything else. That's what I'm trying to target with this challenge. I don't know if it's working. We're gonna have to see. Okay, so I actually woke up late today, so I didn't have time to do like quiet time. Oh. Oh, the thunder. Oh, sorry. Oh. In the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Maybe you light up my world. You don't know. Oh, oh. You don't know you're beautiful. Oh. Oh, bro. So this morning I woke up, I did my quiet time, then I ate breakfast, I worked on some of the English, I made a description for my video that I posted last week, and now I'm about to edit a short that I'm also going to post. I really feel like recording a song. Like, not an original song, just a cover of a song. Like, is that too much dopamine? And then I have work at 2 p.m. So. I didn't get much footage for the last few days, as you could see, but I was just enjoying my time, you know. Nothing really special happened. This challenge showed me the power of sitting in silence and how your mind can really open up when you take away distractions. We may not even realize how much our addictions play a part in not only our productivity and capability of doing more valuable things, like schoolwork, personal projects, hobbies, skills, but it can also sway your entire emotional well-being. For example, even if you're not sad, you might see a post on social media that makes you feel sad, which can impact the entire trajectory of your day or even week. These things can also change your outlook on life, and it can demotivate you from doing things that help you in your future, which is a dangerous path to take. We all need a chance to plant ourselves and shift our focus because we tend to only think about the present when we give in to our pleasures, and that is why instant gratification is such a problem for our generation. We need to take the time to slow down and really focus on the present, not our present emotions or impulsive desires, but the present environment that we're blessed to be living in. When I went back to normal, not much changed on social media. I did get a couple of new people who requested my Instagram, but that was because of the retreat I went on a few days before. I also got a few DMs from my friends, but it wasn't anything too important. Other than that, there weren't some crazy news that I missed out on. I started to listen to music again, and it really brings me joy, but now I'm starting to feel lots of silence with music, and it can really infiltrate your brain when you're constantly listening to something, especially if it has subconscious messages that have the power to change your emotions, positively or negatively. It's a little scary to think about. Now, I'm always watching a YouTube video, especially when I eat. Also, I felt like I'd completely ruined the progress I had for my quiet time with the Lord. During the challenge, it felt like nothing had changed. However, once it was over and I went back to my old ways, I noticed a huge difference in my productivity and procrastination. Everything felt more crowded for me, and I once again felt like I didn't have time to complete things. When I started using social media, I slowly started getting into the habit of choosing it over other things and getting sucked into the loop of scrolling, and the feeling of guiltiness because of my lack of self-control started to creep back up again. Personally, I felt quite peaceful while doing the challenge. My mind wasn't constantly thinking about what other people were up to or about any trivial social media post, even though I occasionally had the urge to go back and check. It really tests your willpower, and I think just knowing the fact that it was only a week and I had to power through it helped me get through the challenge, even though I had small slip-ups. If you really want to feel long-term effects from the dopamine detox, I recommend that you do it for more than just 7 days. When I returned back to normal, as I've said, my old habits basically came rushing back as if nothing had been detoxed. So I realized there were lots of things that I didn't necessarily do properly for the dopamine detox, and I think I will definitely do this challenge again in the future. So here's what I would change. The biggest thing is my screen time. Even though I wasn't on social media, I still always had a screen in my face, which was basically the number one rule of the challenge, to remove screens or keep your screen time to a maximum of 1 hour. I definitely did not do that. With all my screens combined, they definitely equated to over an hour every day, which almost defeated the purpose of this, because I was still receiving a little bit of dopamine just by looking at my computer, even if I wasn't on social media. Food for me has never really been a thing that I thought about. One of the things I've seen in this challenge is to not indulge in junk foods. I didn't really take that into consideration, and I feel like I haven't noticed how food plays into any bad habit of mine because I do have a fairly balanced diet. But I think I could have been more conscious about my diet, especially during this challenge. I don't know what happened or if this is a coincidence, but right after the challenge was over and I went back to normal, I started getting acne. My skin got way worse than it had ever been in my life out of nowhere. I don't know what happened or if it had anything to do with this challenge, but I found it odd because I haven't experienced anything like this before, and it made me a bit insecure for a little bit of time. But just know I'm fine now, and I know my skin could have been a lot worse. It just caught me by surprise. Lastly, communication. It was said in this challenge to not have any communication with your friends, which is quite far from me personally because WhatsApp and Messages was one of my most used apps during the challenge. Not because I was spending excessive time calling my friends, but I did chat with my friends often on there, and I think I wouldn't have been able to withstand this challenge if I didn't have any communication with people. I think I tried to prevent myself from feeling any type of boredom, and that is why I felt like I didn't do the challenge properly, or why it just didn't feel any different. It's because I didn't want to feel the challenge, I just wanted the benefits from it, which is understandable, but limiting your screen time and food is kind of boring, but is basically the whole point of the challenge. I don't know. As much as I would like to say I can implement healthier habits from the dopamine detox and only use screens in moderation, I don't think I have enough self-control to wipe out my addiction like that while still taunting myself with a few tiny doses. Once I look at a social media app, it feels like I'm already trapped in its grasp, and I think removing social media, especially Instagram, is my best bet. My first step is deleting Instagram from my phone, and I plan to only use it on my computer for communication. YouTube is also a big sucker of my screen time, but it is really useful for getting inspiration or learning new things, and I think it is a great resource that I can use for my benefit as long as I don't feed into videos that don't give me much value. Lastly, I would like to do a form of this dopamine detox every month or 3 months or 6 months at least, just so I can get a clear refresh frequently. I'm thinking I won't do all of the requirements, but I will clear out any distractions or things that aren't helping me for a period of time. However, I will probably do another actual dopamine detox in the future again, maybe in a few years, just when I really need a hard reset again. Well, that was pretty much all. I think you should join me in doing this challenge, even though I'm pretty late on the trend. It's never too late to detox your life and your distractions. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.